Okay, this just showed up at the door. It's a little bit of a reorder of some idea cards from Vistaprint. I was getting low on my idea cards, and they had a sale going on a couple of weeks ago. So, placed a reorder on some cards, and let's see. This one is the, boy, they are really packaging these nicely these days in comparison to days of old, just throwing in the postcards and everything and just into a box loose without any additional packing materials. A lot of times you'd open the box and there'd be a big, you know, kind of jumbled mess of, you know, all of the cards that you've ordered or materials. It's not just postcards that they do, but anyway, so this is Nature Set 14. I needed some more of these inserts. Let's see what they have sent. I don't think anything's on back order. I ordered a few more of certain postcards. I call them idea cards than others. Alright, let's see what we have here. Okay. Interesting. Each time you order these, you never know where they're going to be printed. I think there's a different printing houses all over, you know, I guess North America. I think it's mainly Canada and the US for domestic orders, but this one is called A Walk on the Beach. And the color tones are a little bit different. This still looks really good. It's a little bit different than the original. It's a little bit darker on this one, but I do like it though. The color saturations are a little bit deeper. A fun scene done. Oh, well, I think I did it about 2 years ago. Okay, let's see here. Okay, this one is a series of celestial designs, or scenes, done at one time. I used them a lot with the scenic sentiment stamps right here, but this one right here is really fun. I added a lot of gel pen dots up here, and I think this one's a little bit darker as well, so I just expect to see probably a little bit of darker values in this batch. But it's a little bit different than the original, but it's probably pretty close to the values, the amount of light and dark and contrast that the scene looked like when it was freshly stamped. Sometimes dye inks can dry a little bit lighter than when they're freshly stamped. This scene I always like to reorder. It's by Darcy Bruno in New York, and wow, 11 years ago at this point in time. But this one's an example of photo stamping, where you just take a photograph and you stamp right over the top of it in, it could be different colors of ink, but most oftentimes people use black. And then what she's done is she's gone back into this window, probably with a gel pen or a paint pen or something like that, and whited out those windows again so the light looks like it's coming out from the inside. Again, that's just something that I just did on the lesson. I think it was yesterday. Gosh, time flies. I can't even keep track of the time here, but it's really fun making the inside of a, you know, some kind of structure look like it's lit from the interior. And kind of hard to avoid windows like that when you're doing so much coloring, so you just go back in and lighten it up with a gel pen these days. Alright, a lot of the mossy tree imagery, mossy trunks. And this is video 271 here. Okay, one of the little things that I did in this video was to add that little buck right back in there. Little kind of peekaboo thing. Oh, and then there's the doe coming in from this side. So hidden little creatures within the overall. Now this one might be more of that spiral galaxy. Nope, I guess I just ordered a few of these ones. I don't know. I don't remember doing that. This is a scene by Susan Chen in Taiwan, but look at all those little, that's kind of speckled starry night in there, and I love this kind of horizon glow, this color scheme that she used on here. Really fantastic piece. And by the way, these idea cards get mailed out with orders, and I don't know, I never know which ones I'll have at any given time, but I send those out and I'll order a different batch, and I'll reorder ones that I haven't ordered in a while. Okay, this one is the Northern Lights, Aurora Borealis type of scene, and here it is using the same Lakeside Cove large as in this piece right here. Quite different in terms of the kind of the theme or feel of the piece, but using the same stamp as the foundation. This piece right here is really fantastic. It's using that kind of that leaf cutout here. The Zizix birch leaf die. Sizzix, not Zizix, Sizzix, and this is by Anna Corinne Edelston from formerly of South Africa and now of Sweden, or Sweden, then South Africa, then Sweden again. This is my 8.5 by 11 kind of waterfall forest scene. I don't know if I really gave it a Forest Falls, I called it. The back has that thing up there. They didn't register that well. But this is an 8.5 by 11 piece, and this one was really fun using all that mist kind of within here. I'm trying to remember if I did much masking. I don't think I needed to because these trunks are fairly dark in value, so stamping them down, I don't know, some of those background rocks might have been masked off, or the trees might have been masked off and then the rock placement was in there. But for the most part, you can see these trees in here are just kind of, they're lighter in value, so that way I don't have to stamp them first, mask them off somehow, and then stamp a darker version of something in back of them. So for the most part, it goes darker things in the foreground and lighter things in the background, just to avoid having to do a lot of masking. You know, when you do a large scene, I mean, this is of course reduced, but really large scenes like this, I mean, the thing that I want to spend the most of my time doing is the coloring and kind of, you know, defining light and stuff like that when you're working on a large scale thing. So I don't know, that's just me. I don't like doing or have to do a lot of masking, so I kind of avoid it. Not whenever possible, but I don't know. I'd say for the most part, if something is really, you know, called for masking, you know, to create this, you know, better looking scene, then I do mask, but it's very rare. Winds of Winter, I like that kind of wispy kind of movement coming in, and that's the same spooky branch there that's used down here. I wanted something a little spindly that has some different, you know, different movement to it, so I can direct the viewer's eye, but also create a foreground like that without obscuring the background. And I don't know, kind of getting the gesture of that down was the key to that design. And let's take a look here. Just kind of holding some orders until this order of idea cards came in, so I can include these with their orders. And videos 218 through 220, sky figures and the light from within. I think I was just kind of talking about creating a really strong light source in those videos and just using this cloud cumulus as kind of the foundation for kind of establishing kind of a general clouded background, and then stamping the images probably right over the top. I don't even remember. I need to go back and see those videos if that was the point on that one, but it looks like it is, because these three right here are kind of just general backgrounds, and you can kind of stamp right over. I can tell like that cloud structure is inside of that lighthouse just a touch, and of course these are redos. These are all quarter-page scenes. So anyways, new batch of idea cards ready to send out, and then I will start sending those out tomorrow. Thanks for watching.